everyone, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Corner of Craft podcast. I hope that you're well. It's nap time. I'm squeezing this in nap time. We consistently get about an hour and I'm 10 minutes in somehow. I made a tea and set this up, but I tried to make sure I was completely ready to go. The thing is, I'm going to talk about the weather. I am British. We had a heat wave this past week. We've had 2 already this year, which is unheard of in this country. Maybe not unheard of, unfamiliar. And I understand where you're from, it might get hotter than it got here. And that's absolutely fine. This isn't a competition. But it got really hot here, and our houses are not built for hot weather. They're built to retain the heat because we don't usually have super hot summers, although we have been lately, so they need to do something to adjust that. But anyway, I was meant to record this yesterday. It wasn't even as hot yesterday as it was the day before. The day before yesterday it got up to 32 degrees Celsius. And I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit off the top of my head. In the 90s? I actually don't know. I don't know how to convert it. All I know is 28 is 82. 28 degrees centigrade is 82 degrees Fahrenheit, because that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but anyway, so it wasn't super hot. It was just so humid yesterday. I was just constantly sweating for TMI, apologies, but I was. And I was meant to record this yesterday and I felt uncomfortable, and therefore I thought watching me would make you feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to put any makeup on because any makeup I put on my face would just slide right off. So we're podcasting today instead, which means it's nap time and I'm podcasting. So I got up extra early this morning to make sure I was showered and dressed before the pickle was up. And then I did makeup while she was climbing all over me. It was a really fun time. But it does mean as soon as she's napping, I can get going with this. Anyway, welcome if you are new. Apologies for that little bit of backstory. My name is Hannah. I am a yarn dyer and I also make beaded stitch markers. Chromatic Yarns is my yarn brand. And this is a podcast in which I share with you all of the things that I have been working on. This is a monthly podcast, but I do post videos weekly, once a week on a Friday. So if you'd like to subscribe, that would be delightful. I share some behind the scenes on what it's like running a business. We have yarn dyeing videos and such in the form of studio vlogs. And I want to start doing a few more live streams because that was really fun. I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago and that was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. So at the moment, I'm in the throes of yarn advent dyeing, which is, I'm really enjoying the process of dyeing yarn. It does, however, mean I don't have a lot of time to knit. Not to mention, it's been hot, so I haven't wanted to knit as much. But yeah. But my evenings are now spent prepping Advent mini skeins. So that just means that I don't have the time that I would usually knit is in the evenings. And I now do not have that time because I'm prepping Advent mini skeins so I can dye them. Catch my drift? What's a vift? Catch my drift. And soon it will be twisting mini skeins. But I'm still squeezing in some knitting time. So yes, I haven't made as much progress on my projects as I would have liked, but we move. I also don't think I've bought any yarn in the last month. That's not true. I went to the Wool Monty, but I do have a video about my trip to the Wool Monty and I do share my haul there. But I did buy some yarn and a project bag. It was a good time. So I highly recommend you checking out that video as well, if you haven't already. Anyway, I have 2 finished objects. I was hoping to have a third, but I didn't knit it. I went out for a really long walk yesterday because I hadn't done much walking. I've been trying really hard to up my steps and get walking a bit more, and I hadn't walked much throughout the day. And then we had a bit of rain at about 5 o'clock, of course, just as Mario stepped outside to cook pizzas. Mario bought pizza oven. Mario is my husband, if you are new. And yes, so podcast notes can all be found on my website. There's a link to them in the description box below. I'm saying that now. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Description box, also down there. Anyway, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law came round last night because my tiny pickle, who is my baby, is turning 1 this week. And they're not able to come on her birthday, so they came yesterday. And we made pizzas. Mario is a baker, and therefore very easy for him just to whip up a pizza dough. And yeah, we bought an uni. It's a gas one. It's a gas one. And I've been very much enjoying him making pizzas. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so it rained just as it was pizza time. So I stood out there with an umbrella while the in-laws were entertaining the pickle. And yeah, also, how do I almost have a 1-year-old? This is a wild time. Wild times. Anyway, so it rained yesterday. So it broke the heat. So I went for a nice long walk yesterday. I was out for what, hour and 20 minutes? Delightful. Walked to the next village over and then looped back round and back. Fab. Love it. I'm hoping to do a long walk this afternoon. It's raining this morning. So hopefully the rain is forecast to stop after lunch. We're still talking about the weather. It's forecast to stop after lunch. So I'm going to load the pickle in the pram and take her on a nice long walk because we've not done that in a while because it's been too hot. We went to IKEA on Monday. No. Yes? Yes. We went to IKEA on Monday. Don't know what day it is. Because the in-laws came yesterday, I didn't get to go to my fitness class. And therefore that is now like my weekly routine thrown off. So now I don't know what day it is. Went to IKEA on Monday because air conditioning. The pickle had her first experience of meatballs. She had the veggie equivalent ones and loved them. Smashed it. Loved it. Also had a bit of the berry jam. I think that might be her first bit. No, that's not true. She's had a bit of my ice cream before. But I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's the first bit of actual sugar. Anyway. So I do have 2 finished objects, but I do not have them here with me right now because I have gifted them to my friends. I've got 2 friends. One of them isn't on the internet, so you don't know her. But the other one is Emma of Make and Fable. She started to do yarn shows. She does macrame kits. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. Their birthdays are in February and March. Emma's is in March, and other friend, Lauren, is in February. They're bead shop friends. I met them when I was working at the bead shop, and we still hang out now. Delightful. And yeah, so it was their birthdays then. Now, I'm terrible in that I will wait until the last minute to do something. So I knew that I was going to be seeing them. It's now 2 weeks ago, but that is in June, and I hadn't got them anything for their birthday. So I made them a couple of neckerchiefs, 1 each. Cut to past me. Thank you, Hannah from the future. So yeah, like I said, I have gifted these to my friends. I'm about to wrap them up now. It's a bit of a last minute gift. Sure, their birthdays were in March and February. And I'm just getting around to it now. I made 2 little neckerchiefs. We've got this one. And we've got this one. This one's a bit bigger. Because I had a bit more time. So that one's a bit bigger. This is the Knitting Badge Neckerchief by Nicholas Heed. It's a free pattern. And I just used up some scraps of yarn. So this first one, this is from Knit Crate. I had it ages ago. Excuse the nappies. Excuse the chaos of this room. Maria set up a little tent using the box for the stair gate that we've got blocking the door here, so she can't escape if she's in here. Yes, so this is using that. This is a non-superwash yarn, so I will have to say to please don't put this in the washing machine. But it would just be nice and cozy and a little bit warm. So I'm guessing the idea is you just kind of roll it up a little bit. And then you can either use like a little ring as a woggle, or you can tie it. How did I tie it? Like this? Do you tie it like this? I'm pretty sure you can tie it like this. And just rearrange it and stuff. It's just a cute little neck scarf. So yes, I made a boardwalk blouse by, I can't remember who it's by, out of this first time round of using it. And so yeah, this is just scraps. And I haven't weighed them, so I don't know how much they weigh. I might do that imminently. And then this one is, I'm pretty sure it's Martin's Lab. I made a TPCT out of it, and I've worn it a fair amount. The moths had got to this one, so I had to stop and restart the yarn a few times, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, this one's just not quite as long. But you could put a little ring there. It's just a little something to add a little bit of interest to an outfit. I just think they're cute. Very much enjoyed knitting it. So the first one I made, I used a 2.5mm needle. It's what the pattern recommended, so that is what I used. It was a bit of a struggle. It took me a bit longer to do than the second one. It was a bit of a struggle using that needle size. The second one, I used a 2.75 needle millimeter, and it worked much better, significantly better. So yes, I think this is my needle size of choice. So these are both sock weight yarns. I can't remember the makeup of it. I'm pretty sure this is some kind of merino blend, but I don't know what this one is at all. But yeah, it's fun. It's got garter sections, and it's got a little drop stitch detail here, and you increase on the outside and in the middle. I'll show you on this one, it might be a bit clearer. But yeah, it's just a little bit fun, just a little something. When I blocked it, I did pin the life out of it, so I soaked it for about 20 minutes, and then I stretched it as far as I could widthwise. And I didn't block it too deep, because I obviously could have blocked it deeper, but I wanted the width. So I blocked it widthwise, same with this one. Blocked it widthwise and not very deep, and I think that was a wise choice. But yeah, these are two finished objects that I have, and I'm now going to go wrap them up and then eat some breakfast. Right, back to you, Hannah, from the future. Yes, those were very quick knits. I very much enjoyed making those. I thought they were, I loved it. And you could either tie it in a little knot, or they recommend in the pattern using like a little ring as a woggle, which is really fun, and just a little bit of something a little bit different. And they were relatively quick to make. Especially the second one, I used a larger needle size. I can't remember what I said in the video because it's now 2 weeks ago since I filmed it. I used a larger needle size, and yeah, it made it much easier to knit because the smaller needle size did make it much more difficult. The tea I'm drinking today, by the way, is just a Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. We went for speed today instead of anything else. We went with what is a tea I can make relatively quickly. Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. It's in a tea bag. Anyway, those are my finished objects. The only other project I've been working on, this is going to be a really short podcast. It's not even going to be a short podcast, is it? It's basically just, I don't know. It's going to be short anyway. The only other project that I've really put any time into, I think, I'll double check. I'll show you some of the other ones as well anyway, just so we can see if we've made progress or not. This is the teddy bear sweater. This is a pattern by Petite Knit. This is for my child, whose birthday is this week, so I need to get a wriggle on. I'm on sleeve numero dos. I definitely could have finished it. I just haven't done. Classic me. So yes, I'm knitting the 1 to 2 year size. I'm making this out of King Cole Jamboree. This colourway is Glow Stick Gala. And I made another one of these. I shared it in the previous podcast. And I have the same issue going on with this one, just the other way round. So I have bought 2 balls of yarn. This is the yarn. King Cole Jamboree in Glow Stick Gala is the colourway. They are both the same dye lot. So on the other jumper that I knit, I made it out of a different colorway called Balloon Bonanza, and the body was striped and the arms were almost like marled. The yarn itself is marled. It's made up of multiple strands, and then the strands change color throughout. What I think has happened is that the strands have been dyed the right color, but they're not necessarily plied into a stripe. Does that make sense? That makes sense, doesn't it? Because it's made up of multiple strands and the strands are different colours, so it's not like it's a block. So basically the body on this one is the kind of marled, not very stripy, and then the sleeves are stripy. So from here down is the new ball of yarn. And I understand the sleeves are going to look different to this because this would have more narrower stripes than the sleeve because the sleeve is a smaller circumference. I understand that. But there are no stripes. Nary a stripe, very slight striping. So what I think has happened is that the individual strands were dyed the right colours and then like plied together at the wrong points. So the dye lot's the same, sure, but the yarn itself is not the same. Am I making sense? Does that make sense? But anyway, it's really putting me off getting any other king coal, really. Well, any stripy king coal, probably a solid or a variegated I'd probably go with. But anything stripy, I think I'm just going to have to avoid it because I can't guarantee it's going to be the same. Like, it's a baby jumper, so it's not the end of the world. She'll probably fit in this for a bit longer because she's a toddler and toddlers don't grow as quickly as babies. But she's not going to be in this for heaps of time and it's fine. It's a baby jumper, MBD. But if it was something for myself, I'd be really annoyed. You think we always say with indie dyed yarn, oh, alternates gains, we aren't machines. Speckles aren't always going to be completely even. The colour itself isn't always going to be completely even. If you're knitting a jumper, if you're knitting a garment, you're using more than one skein of the same colour, alternate skeins, because it will hide any variation in the skeins. We aren't machines, we're not commercial dyed, blah, blah, blah. We say all of this, and then I buy commercial yarn that is dyed by machines and plied by machines, and it's not. That's not the same. Don't get me wrong, it's really pretty, but I just kind of wish the whole jumper had been like this. Like this, or like this. I like both. I think both are good, but they're not. It looks like a new ball of yarn. Like, it is a new ball of yarn. It looks like a completely different colourway. So yeah, very disappointed in King Cole. Very disappointed. And I bought them from my local yarn shop at the same time, so they would have come in the same order, so they were definitely the same dye lot, and I've checked the labels and blah blah blah. I checked the labels before I bought them. Or if you're buying this yarn because you like this yarn, I think you just need to really double check when you're looking. It's looking at the dye lot just isn't good enough. You actually have to look to make sure you can see defined stripes, make sure the balls look as identical as possible. Because I don't know, I just thought King Cole would be better. So this yarn is 100% premium acrylic, 300 meters per 100 grams. So it's a thin DK. And the teddy bear sweater, as I said, is a pattern by Petite Knit. I've knit so many of these. It's my go-to baby jumper pattern. It's got short rows, love a short row. And what was I going to say? Oh, the pattern originally calls for 4-ply sock weight, fingering weight, held with, I do quotation marks, saying fingering weight makes me feel uncomfortable. Sock weight, 4-ply, held with a lace weight, so like a mohair fluff or whatever. But I think I've maybe knit one like that, and then I've had a baby, and now I'm thinking, mohair, probably not the smartest idea for babies, unless that's the vibe you want to go down, in which case, good for you. Not the vibe I want to go down. My baby has always been very dribbly. She's basically had a dribble bib on her since she was about 2 months. Almost in every single picture there's a dribble bib on her. Not quite as bad now she's a little bit older, except for when teeth are actually coming through. But yes, so I've just used double knit and I don't necessarily get gauge, so this is probably going to be huge on her, but at the same time my baby's not massive. She's long but slim. So, yeah. She's not a chunky baby. But she's, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just going to, I think, if I get King Cole again, I'm just going to pause and think if I actually, and it's like stripy, pause and think if that is something I actually want. Because, yeah, the fact it's happened on both of them is just a little disappointing. So, but it will definitely be finished by the next podcast because I need to finish it. I'll probably finish it today, let's be honest. I did knit on it a bit this morning while the pickle was reading to herself. It's actually very cute. She opens books and babbles away. It's adorable. But, yeah. So I did knit on it for a bit. But we'll probably finish the sleeve this evening. Although we're having friends around to play board games. But anyway, very close to being done. Very close to being done. Very exciting. But other than that and the neckerchiefs, I've not really done a whole lot of knitting this month. So living in my sardines bag that I just bought off Vinted. It was a fiver. This is the cold brew socks. I can't remember where I was the last time I showed you them. I don't think I put the progress keeper there. Anyway, this is the cold brew socks. This is made out of my honeymoon yarn. This is the Cozy Knitter in the Peachy Keen colourway on the Bliss base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And the sock pattern is by Alison Stufer. Alison of Lofty Loops. I've never heard her say her surname out loud, but I imagine it's pronounced Stufer. I'm guessing it's German, just because of the E and the U and the E. It would have had an umlaut at some point. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, someone else's name. So, yes. That could also just be me assuming. She might, I don't know. So, yes, it's a really fun sort of slip stitch pattern. I don't know if this yarn really does it justice. I bought this yarn on my honeymoon. I talked more about it in the previous podcast. But I'm going to be doing Kirby Werby's Afterthought Heel. So I just stopped the slip stitch on the back at some point. I think I was going to do it partway through here, but I think I might do it partway through the grey instead. But that's also fine, I think, to stop. It's the back of my foot. No one's getting that close to the back of my foot. And if they are, well, we've got different issues. So I am going to move my progress keeper up so I can actually see when I make progress. Hopefully I'll be done with Advents by the time we're next talking, or very nearly done. I'll be done with the daily Advents anyway, or very nearly done with the weekly Advents by the time we next talk. So I will have a bit more knitting time, apart from the fact I'm very behind on yarn twisting. So I do need to do that. But it's been too hot in the office. Last year I sat on the sofa and I was pregnant though, but I was sat on the sofa and twisted yarn, and that was absolutely fine. And I watched so much Grey's Anatomy. So much, but I can't do that this year because the pickle, and that's fine. It's not an issue, it's just a small frustration that it's been too hot for me to do it. So yes, I'm knitting these on 2.25mm needles, so I'm doing a 64 stitch sock, and yeah, I'm using the contrast mini that came with the sock set. Doodaloo. And you get loads in this contrast mini. How many grams is the contrast mini? 30 grams. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Get that little bit extra. Well, what do you do with that random 10 gram? Unless you wind it from a cone. It might be wound from a cone. Anyway. Ta-da, da-da, da, 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 da. So yes, this is that. Do I get my cardigan out? It's one of those where it's kind of gone on temporary hiatus, the cardigan again. Not but for any reason other than, not because I'm like, I don't know. I'm at the point, I'm pretty sure this hasn't come out of the bag since I last podcast, but we'll double check just to make sure. Because I did say I'd be on the sleeve. Oh, I'm halfway through a row. Well, smooth. Oh, tell a lie. Tell a lie. I've knit 3 rows. I've started the ribbing. I started the bottom ribbing. Lovely, because I was so determined to go be on a sleeve by the time I podcast next, and it just hasn't happened. So yeah, I'm doing knit one, purl one on the bottom ribbing, and the star is where I was last time, and so didn't do heaps, but did do a little bit, so I'm not as mad at myself. But we are partway through a row. This is the field day cardigan. This has been on the needles for well over a year now. It went on long-term hiatus. That's basically the long and the short of it. This is the pattern by Ozetta. I am knitting it using a 4-ply yarn held with mohair, and it went on hiatus for such a long time because I got pregnant. I was pregnant when I cast it on. I had the baby. It was too hot. It was too hot to start with to knit with mohair. And then I had the baby and I didn't have the mental capacity to work out where I was in the pattern. And then it's black yarn, and black yarn in the winter is the worst. And so people were telling me just to frog it. And then a few months ago, I basically was like, I'm just going to get it out of the bag and see what's happening. And I kept putting it off because I was like, oh, a really complicated bit. I don't understand. It's going to take me ages to work out where I am. It took me 10 minutes. It took me 10 minutes to work out where I am and what I was doing. If that, I think even under 10 minutes to work out where I am, what I was doing. And then I was like, oh, okay. I've been putting that off for months and it took me no time at all. So the black yarn is Skein and Stitch. This is Weirdstone. It's from her Sarah J. Maas collection on her plush sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Lovely. And then the mohair is Beware of Crimson Peak. This is on her willow base, which I believe she's discontinued. Creative Anarchy yarns, did I say? So on her willow base, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk, to 420 meters per 50 grams. So I've got one more ball of each left after I'm done with these. I need to twist them up really. And yeah, this is going very well, she says, after having not really picked it up for the last probably, 3 weeks? Oops. Right, I should probably check the baby real quick. I just had a sip of tea and checked the baby. She's still asleep. It's all good. And yeah, so that's happening. I've got these buttons to go on it. I talked about them previously. I don't need to talk about them more now. And I'm really excited to start wearing this. The only other project that I currently have actively on the go, I say actively, is this. And I'm pretty sure this is my Little Squares blanket. I haven't touched this at all. I need to attach this row to the other ones. Blah blah blah, but I won't go into too much detail about this because I talked about it last time and I didn't touch it. So if you want to know more about this project, please check out the last podcast episode. But it's just this lovely crochet blanket that will be a blanket, and this is my third strip. I cast this on during the Summer Olympics last year with a baby asleep on my lap. And breastfeeding, God knows what. I worked out how to crochet and breastfeed and then could never emulate it again. But that was getting too repetitive because it's just me sharing the same things over and over and over again. Stash enhancement. I did buy some yarn. I bought some bits from the Wool Monty. I had such a good time there. It was so lovely. I forgot that was this month. And I do not want to run upstairs, run back downstairs, take the time to cool off and get my breath back before and show you, because I fear she may wake up from her nap. And so, yes, I have shown everything that I got in. I think this is why I didn't think to bring it down, because I have shown everything I got in the haul at the yarn show in a haul in the Wool Monty vlog. But I bought this lovely massive skein of fluff. So good, and not like spinning fluff because I do not spin, but I keep seeing people spinning and it makes me want to try, but I'm holding my hands up. I have personality flaws, probably quite a few of them, but one of my flaws, I'm really bad at being bad at things, like awful. I'm really awful at being bad at things. And I think this probably stems from the fact that growing up, I was always quite good at things. I was naturally quite smart. Spelling came quite easily to me. Maths less so. Maths did take a bit of work, but I'm very good at remembering things, which is why languages worked quite well for me, because I'm very good at remembering. Oh, I need to put that away. I'm very good at, I'll do it in a minute. I'm very good at remembering things. So like learning spellings, really easy. School came quite easily to me, apart from until A levels. But by that point, everything was quite formed in my brain. And then A level German just kind of, goodness me. But still went on to university to do it and somehow got a degree, even though I don't think I could still explain to you when to use what version of the in German. There's many. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm now at the point where it's like, it sounds right. Maybe not now. I'm very out of practice. Anyway, I'm really bad at being bad at things. It's one of the reasons I can't ride a bike. Fun fact, hello, I can't ride a bike. The reason I can't ride a bike is because I'm so bad at being bad at things that I don't want to try. I've obviously improved on this as I've got older, but what am I talking about? I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. I'm going to have to rewind and see what I was talking about. Spinning, we're talking about spinning. It's also why I don't like driving, because it didn't come naturally to me and I'm not naturally good at it. So I don't like doing it. I don't like practicing things. It's awful. I really hope I don't pass this on to my child, because it's probably quite a limiting mindset. Anyway, spinning. So I don't actually want to start spinning because I know I'll be bad at it. And I'm not willing to put time into something that I'm going to be bad at for a while, when I can put time into knitting more and getting back to bead weaving. So I can actually have beaded stitch markers in the shop more than once a year, because how can I sit here saying I made beaded stitch markers and then never have them in the shop because I'm spending my whole time on yarn? Anyway, I really, really, really want to get back to doing stitch markers and stuff when the Pickle's in nursery. She's starting in September. So that will hopefully free up a bit of time to where I can do a bit more concentrated work, because the Pickle won't be around. Although at that point I'll be packing up Advents, so can they go on forever? In shop news, I don't have any big shop news at the moment. Advents are happening. Everything else is kind of on pause whilst Advents are happening. Previously, I had much more time to work on Advents, but at the moment, I'm getting at most 2.5 days a week to work. And Monday it was too hot to work. Although saying that, I did manage to dye up 2 Advent colourways. I just started dyeing yarn earlier. And then yesterday, I only managed a couple of hours of work just because Mario came home late from work, and then my brother-in-law and sister-in-law came round, so I only managed to get a couple of hours in. And then Friday, this is entirely a selfish thing, I'm getting my hair done, but I really want to. I haven't had it done in so long, but it's very much time. Anyway, we're having some fun colour put back in it. I'm excited, but that's very much a selfish reason why. Anyway, most of the time I managed to get 2.5, around slightly less days of guaranteed work in. And so my brain is like, I slept for 5 hours last night. That's why my brain is not firing on all cylinders. But that is why I'm only working on Advents, and I don't have time to sort of do other things at the same time. So yes, Advents is the current shop news. I have sent out invoices, the final invoices, to those of you who are paying in installments. Please check your emails. Some of you haven't paid the first installments, and check your emails. If you think you should have received one and you haven't received one, please email me. Please contact me, because I can't do anything about it. You do have until the end of August to pay, so there's no mad rush. But yes, I do not want to be chasing hordes of people at the end of the month, at the end of August, if you don't mind. My baby's going to be starting nursery sort of that week, so there's going to be a lot going on. I did not think it through. In life news, what we've been up to? Well, I went to the Monty, and then we've just kind of been working quite a lot. We're still very much, if Mario is working, I'm not working. If Mario's not working, I am working. That is the current cycle that we have going on. I'm trying to be a little bit more flexible because now I don't have like anything immediately going out. So Advents are more of a long-term project, and I'm doing quite well with that long-term project. But because, yeah, doing well with that long-term project, yeah, but because I don't have like a collection where I'm like, I need to do things now, I can be a bit more flexy with time. So yeah, I haven't done as much work this week, and then it's the Pickle's birthday and everything, like, it's a lot happening. So my parents coming up and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we haven't done an awful lot. That is exciting. In June, I went to the Monty with my friend Emily, had a really lovely time. I might apply next year. Whether or not I'll get in, well, you know, remains to be seen. I went the first 2 years, and then I had a chat to the organisers while I was there. So yeah, I went the first 2 years, and then they were like, last year, before I announced I was pregnant, the applications opened and closed, and they thought that they'd like done something to upset me or something, because I'd obviously gone the previous 2 years, and they thought, oh, she's not applied. And then obviously had the baby, and then I didn't want to apply this year because I didn't know what work was going to look like, what I was going to be able to do, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just think it's worth doing because it's in Sheffield, which is really close to Nottingham. It's really close to where I live in Nottingham. It's, I think, 45 minutes away? Super duper close. So I'd be able to stay at home and go, but I do need to get driving. So yes, I had a really lovely time there. It was really, really good. It was nice to have a wander around and a chit chat to people. I was exhausted by the end of it, but did also have a really good time. It was nice. It was nice. It was nice to go to a yarn show and not vend. So yeah, haven't done that in a really long time. But yeah, it was good. It was good fun. We were going to go with babies, and then it got to like the day before, and like, you know what? It's probably easier to go without babies, especially babies on the move. Her baby is 6 months older than mine, maybe. And yeah, they're like, they want to crawl now. Both the babies want to be on the move, although I think hers is walking. But anyway, they both want to be on the move. They both want to be go. So yeah, we would not have been able to have had a nice leisurely mooch for as long as we had, a nice leisurely chat over lunch and blah, blah, blah. It would have been much more stressful. So we went without babies, but had a great time. I have a whole vlog about it. I probably don't need to talk about it as much as I am. And other than that, not much really to report on. I don't think I've done an awful lot in June. I've started reading Bookshops and Bone Dust. I say reading, I'm listening to the audiobook. I do have a physical copy of the book, and I did start it, but I'm finding that at the moment I'm spending my free time knitting, and I'm not like reading before bed or anything. So I thought I will just start. I had a look on, I have Spotify Premium, and you get X amount of hours audiobook. I think it's 15 hours on Spotify Premium. So I thought, oh, I may as well, because I want to read it. I was like, I may as well look and see if it's on there as an audiobook. It is. So I've started listening to that. And so far, I am enjoying it. Intrigued to know where it's going to go. I'm about 2 hours in. I listen on 1.5 speed. But yeah, I started that literally yesterday on my walk. I've been listening to podcasts and stuff usually on my walks, but I just thought I'd try something a little bit different. And yeah, other than that, I don't think I have an awful lot to share with you. I really do want to do the Advents of December's Past make along, so keep an eye out for that. I will do a completely separate video talking about that. I don't know when I'm going to start it or anything, but keep an eye out, because I really do want to do it, because I really want to knit my stripy jumper. But I was hoping to finish my cardigan before I cast on the jumper, but it might just not work out that way. Anyway, and I think that might be about it. I'm going to wind this up here because I think my baby might probably wake up soon, timings wise. So thank you so much for watching. What have you been up to? What have you been knitting? What have you been crocheting? Do you spin? How quickly did you improve on your spinning? Are you also someone who is bad at being bad at things? Terrible, like I'm really bad at it. It's actually frustrating, super frustrating. But yeah, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I read all of your comments, even if I don't necessarily reply to them all. They all get read. My thing is, I read them when they come in, and then I'm like, I won't heart it, because in the YouTube, there's a YouTube Studio app, and on the YouTube Studio app, it says that it shows comments that you've not responded to. And I'm like, if I put a little heart, if I heart the comment, then they won't come up there, and then I'll forget. So I usually try and heart them as I respond to them. But sometimes I just don't get around to responding to them. And then I feel really bad because people are leaving comments, and I'm very grateful for it. And I love the chat. And then I'm not actually being active in the chat. But if you don't have anything to say and you've made it this far into the video, please leave I don't know what emoji to choose. Please leave a strawberry emoji. We've come to the end of the strawberries in our garden. That is one of the things that I guess we did through June, was we picked a lot of strawberries and raspberries in our garden. And the pickle ate most of them. So thank you, Mario, for growing strawberries and raspberries, because that saved us a good chunk of money, I'm sure. A strawberry emoji. That would be lovely. Also, I love dressing the pickle in strawberry themed clothing. I love food themed clothing. I've loved food themed clothing for such a long time. I love that it's currently back in fashion. I don't look like I like food themed clothing, because literally I just wear black t-shirts all the time. But I guess it's technically food themed. It's pumpkin. And yes, so a strawberry emoji. Leave a strawberry emoji if you've made it this far. That would be lovely. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, links can all be found in the description box below, as well as links to the podcast notes. They are also down there. I take my time to put the links to patterns, more information about yarn, anything else that I've forgotten, all of that fun stuff, podcast notes. And I do have a Patreon. I don't like to plug it the whole way through the video, but if you would like to have a bonus video from me, I do have a Patreon. You can join the Biscuit Brew crew, or if there's space on the Chai Latte crew, nab yourself a spot. You get 3 20-gram mini skeins sent to you every single month. And July's theme is ice cream. I'm going to be dyeing them up on Friday, which is today, for you. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly do appreciate it and enjoy your company. And I will see you all very, very soon in my next video. Bye.